2024 best ball streets are hot, hot, hot. And yes, yes, yes. Stacy and I are here for it. Tonight, we are starting our very own league over on Real Time Fantasy Sports. Stacy,
Gator.
I am ready for this. I am
go.
so ready. Let's get it. Welcome into Club Fantasy FFL. Welcome to Masterclass. Like I said, tonight we are starting our very own best ball league over on Real Time Fantasy Sports. As always, our co-host and professor Stacy Perez at Stacy_Perez83 over there on Twitter, and myself at FantasyJ77 on Twitter. Stacy, first of all, how are you tonight?
Gator, I'm great. I am going on vacation as of tomorrow. I'm going to be in Atlanta watching our Atlanta Braves, hanging out with some of our friends. Our buddy Keith Fleming, going to be hanging out with him Thursday on 4th of July, going to the game. He and his wife, Brittany. So shout out to them. Can't wait to meet them up in person. But yeah, I'm getting ready for the 4th. How about you?
Yeah, actually, I'm going on vacation starting the 4th. But real quick, Keith Fleming, Brittany, phenomenal people. I hung out with them in Panama City last year doing an ESPN draft. It was phenomenal. Absolutely good people to hang out with. You're going to have a blast. Speaking of the Braves going back-to-back with home runs just an inning ago, so up 2-0 over those hated San Francisco Giants. They don't care what kind of baby-faced tall guy they can put on the mound. Killing them tonight.
As they should. I need them to be in that, mode, ready to go, just crush the Giants. I want to see them win tomorrow. I saw them in Baltimore a few weeks ago and they did not show up. So I want my boys to come through for me this weekend.
Stacy,
this week.
if you go and ruin my 4th of July by going to the Braves game and making them lose yet again, I'm going to ban you from Braves games.
I'm a harbinger of doom.
We do have Vince and Calvin already popping off in the chat. Both of them are drafting with us, by the way. Vince, if I'm not mistaken, is international.
Yeah, Vince, are you international? Are you you're Australian? I believe. Are you down under? Is that right?
Down under.
I think that's right.
Well, while he's going to answer that question, Stacey, tonight's draft, again, like I said, is over on Real Time Fantasy Sports. Tell us about the rules, because these are a little bit different from what we have done with both the FFPC and Underdog here lately.
Yeah, so this is a totally new platform, which was kind of our goal when we decided to do this series, is to show everybody that there are different places to play best ball out there, and so this is one of them. So this is Real Time Sports. This is going to be one of only the second time that I've played on this platform, but it's been one on on my radar for a while here. So glad to see this, getting to dip our toes into that water. So this is going to be a 16-team roster. So a lot smaller than what we normally do. You're going to start 9, 7 bench. You've got a 1 QB, 2 receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex, 1 tight end. And this is going to be a kicker and a defense/special teams league as well. So, keep in mind, for that, you've got to draft a kicker, you got to draft a defense. This is best ball. So, best ball rules still apply. This is a tight end premium here. So 1.4 points per reception. Other than that, it's pretty standard. The scoring is pretty similar to what else, in other leagues that you do, where, it's 6 points for a touchdown, 4 points for passing touchdown. They do have a special rule with the kickers that I did notice, that it's 3 points for a field goal, but for every yard after 31 yards, you get an extra 0.1 on your. Yeah. So kind of fishbowl-esque.
Yeah, long distance kicks are boosted.
Exactly. So get you like a Money Mac or a Greg the Leg or something like that, and put them in your lineup.
And Vince says yes, Australia is correct. G'day.
G'day, mate.
Chris B in the chat saying he sees that Blue Jays hat behind you. I guess we're ready to go ahead and kick this thing off. Looks like we got most of the teams in the draft room. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get this thing kicked off. I may have to switch over. Oh, this is going to be fun. That's the only thing that we have come across here, is with this new one here, not doing a ton on here. It's made it a little difficult to manage. But yes. I'm sure we can get it going, and we are We
just
are
like
running.
anything, it's your first time doing it. So Gator and I actually did a draft with Howard Bender and Andrew Cooper over on Sirius on this platform. And so that was both of our first time there. So now, this is our first time putting together our own league. This is a platform that has different championships that you can play into. You can come and set up your own league, which is a great, function that they have, but you don't just have to do that. So if you want to play on here, and you say, I want to do, their best ball championship. So it's a $10,000 grand prize, different price points, to enter into those. They also have a main event grand prize. It's a $500,000 grand prize. And actually a good friend of mine who is right up here, that would be Mr. Brad Petrie, I think won it 2 years ago or year before last, something like that.
Nice.
Shout out to Brad. I don't know if you're listening or not. But Brad also got me this super cool jersey back here. We have a group that drafts in Kentucky every year. And Brad got us all matching jerseys. So shout out to him. But yeah, he's a RTS pro over here. So yeah, but they have a lot to offer, as well, just like I said, different platform, kind of, get out there, diversify your portfolio a little bit. But Chris, you said you spy a Jay's hat. You do spy a Jay's hat. It's right here. Sidebar. I collect hats from every stadium that I go to. And I didn't technically go to Toronto for that hat, but I did go to one of the only actual major league games that was held in a spring training stadium, which was during COVID, over when I saw my Braves play in Dunedin. So that's the story behind that.
Yeah, one thing I want to quickly hit on is I thought I had set it up for a 1 minute clock. It is a 2 minute clock. So that another thing that's a little bit different. Evidently, I did not change that setting. You can change the setting. 2 minutes, it is what it is. It's just going to take us a little bit longer to get through it. We should still get through it with it being a total of 16 rounds.
People, if you take 2 minutes, do not take 2 minutes out there.
You don't have to take 2 minutes if you don't want to. That's right. Mr. Scampers in the chat. Good evening to the crazy old cat himself.
Good evening, Scampers.
Vince says he'll catch us on the other side. I think you're in the future, bud. You're already in the future. You're in tomorrow for us.
Over there, is it like 12 hours or something? Is it more?
Yeah, I don't. It's they're out there.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if everybody takes 15 seconds. Thank you in the chat there. Gator, I did do one of those 15-second schnauzers on Underdog the other day, and I got to tell you guys, since playoff hockey's over, it really was kind of like the only way I could feel truly alive. 15 seconds to make it rough.
I have not done any of those. I saw the tweet that they put out. And I was just like, man, 15 seconds. Sometimes I have a hard time with 30 seconds. And I hate. I'm not a guy that likes to do the long 8-hour clock either, right?
Oh my god, I can't do slow drafts. Slow drafts are not I don't have the patience for it. I want instant gratification. I want it done. I want to set aside my hour and a half, time block and finish it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Well, Stacy, the draft, like I said, has started. We got the first 3 picks off the board. You're picking at 6. I am picking at 11. A little something different on this one, too, is normally come Tuesday nights at 8:30 when we jump on here, I don't draft.
You don't, but you're drafting tonight.
You know why I'm drafting tonight?
Jumping in. Why?
Because here, I'll show you. This is a free league. We're not doing anything with the league, but I wanted it to be a little bit fun, and I wanted people to take it a little bit more serious. When you have a free league, people don't really take stuff serious, right?
Right.
So I figured, what better way than to get a nice little ring for the winner, right? We get a nice little, and I'll get it customized where we'll have maybe the woff logo on one side, the Club Fantasy logo on the other, and maybe something along the lines of Best Ball Champ. Something along those lines for the winner. So at least it's an incentive for the winner to or for people to take it a little bit more serious, get a little something out of it, a little piece for your trophy case. Whether that trophy case is on your hand like this, you can walk around and tap it on the bar or whatever.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Gator, I don't know if you've seen the chat or not. We got Chris over here talking some trash. Wild Rosie, what's up, girl? I see you in the chat. Carla, thank you for drafting with us.
Albert,
for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out tonight and coming to draft with us, guys. If you're having a good time, if you like what you're hearing, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And we're trying to get to 2,000. We already hit 1,000, so now we gotta get to 2.
Stacy, I got a funny story, or at least I think it's funny. I'll be coming up on the clock here in a second, but a funny story about Wild Rosie here. She was on the Podathon the other day. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did see her. I did see Rosie.
Yeah. You know who Rosie is? Rosie's a dog.
I know. It's Karen. Yeah, that's Karen.
That's Karen. Karen is using her dog's Twitter and YouTube. She, you know, that's kind of, I don't know.
I love it. I mean, I knew this because I'm in those online chats and I know all these ladies. So like, Gator, I've known this.
Look at this. Look at this. I bring up the ring and look what coin flip.
Carla.
Carla wants in. She's like, yep, I want the ring. I want the ring.
Absolutely. I want that ring too. I don't have a ring trophy yet. So we gotta make that happen.
Yeah, we gotta get some well, you gotta win.
You got to win first.
You got to win first.
Win first.
That's
all right. So we are on team 8 here. I took Amon-Ra St. Brown. Bijan went right after me. So this is pretty similar to what we're seeing in like a lot of our drafts with this, you know, how it goes McCaffrey, Lamb, Hill, Chase, Jefferson, St. Brown, Bijan. This is about right. So team 8, you're about to time out. What are we doing over here? Let's go.
Yeah, I may have to go and message him. He was in here a little bit ago. May have to go message him, let him time out this one here, and then I'll pick, and then I'll shoot him a quick.
He's gonna get he got skipped. Oh no.
I don't know what that does now. This is a different platform. I'm gonna go find the rules, go check the rules.
We may need to check those settings.
I think what it does is he gets the pick when he comes back in.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look to see. I didn't even think to look and see about that. So
yeah,
don't time out. This is the key there.
The rule is don't time out. So he's got it goes back to him. Okay, so
okay. I don't know that I like that. I don't know if
I like that either. J4.
Well, the nice thing about this league too is you can completely customize everything. So like if you're on there and you're on, you know, like the league settings page, like there's literally like you can do whatever you want on here, which is really cool. And I mean, not for nothing, but look at our fun little logos that we have up here.
You can customize logos. You can upload your own. It's very, very, like I say, very customizable. So
absolutely, I got the little flamingo. Got to rep Florida. Oh yeah,
got to rep Florida. I hear you.
Yeah, Rosie, I've never seen that either. You know, we got team 9 over here taking Puka after that. We got Oscar over here, Broken Trojans. That's pretty funny. Broken Trojans are kind of like the reason that I have a day job, right, Gator?
I wouldn't know if it was Broken Trojans or not. But you know, it is definitely
guys.
It's definitely not your math skills.
It's definitely not my math skills. That is for damn sure.
It's funny because when we say math skills, everybody actually thinks that we're talking about you adding and subtracting. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The only thing I'm not including in that is the dollar sign that goes in front of that. You can do that very well.
I can do that. I can add those dollar signs up real fast. So he's going to time out again here. So I'm not sure if there's a way to go in. Because I think Lanier's right in here. Obviously, it's going to really slow down the draft if it just keeps going back to back. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
that way we can keep this moving down the road here.
I'm going to see what I can do, Stacy.
We're going to be up here in a second. I wonder if there's a way for me to jump in and find out if I can see if I can reach that person.
Yeah, it's just I'm not liking that if it goes back to him. They should have should be an auto skip or something along those lines. But again, this is or an auto draft. Yeah. So this is again going back to kind of what we were saying. This doing the new platforms and learning them, and we will absolutely get it down. It's just a matter of what we got to do here. But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I got a minute to figure this out. So while I'm into the league here, going to go in and see what we got for settings for the draft itself, and make him auto draft if we can.
Guys, Brees Hall still on the clock. Oscar, you are up, sir. I can't believe Brees Hall.
Save.
Brees Hall's still there. That's a steal.
Okay, I was able to do that, and also, so it's going to run back to him for 1 minute, and then he will auto pick from there.
Okay, good. Oscar, who you wanted Brees Hall?
Did he take Brees Hall there?
I don't know. It took it right as it timed out, so I wasn't sure if he did that on purpose. But I mean, I can't imagine that you wouldn't want Brees Hall at number 10.
He's Brokow, who's picking from where the heck is he picking from? He is picking. Where is Brokow picking? Is he Broken Trojans? Is it Broken Trojans? Where he wants to go back and get a Rick and Monty style helmet.
Oh, Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Rick and Morty. I'm Morty.
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay, so he ends up with Saquon Barkley. Okay, which is fine. This is where.
Thank goodness this isn't going to mess up anybody's ADP with Saquon going on the number 9 team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and take. Wait a minute, did it not take him?
Oh. Vince, maybe he picked Philip Lindsay. Is Philip Lindsay still in the league? I'm gonna have to look that up now. I want to know if Philip Lindsay is still playing in the league.
I don't know why you got to keep turning on. That's going to aggravate me if that keeps turning back on. But anyway, taking Jonathan Taylor, just somebody that I think is going to get a good bit of volume coming out of that backfield.
There you go. I like that. I like Jonathan Taylor there.
Yeah, the other side that I'm looking at there is being able to possibly come back around with this 2-2 pick and seeing what's available.
So are you a Taylor over Gibbs? Because Gibbs is usually going in that 11-12 spot there.
There's so many weapons in Detroit.
So many.
And the other side too is, and it's something I forget, and going to this RTS, RT Sports here, we know that the ADP is a little different from what we're used to. Yeah. So you honestly have to scroll down a good bit more.
You do. You do. That's the big thing that we learned.
Yes. So there's players like I'm not trying to crosstalk or anything like that, but like a Sam Laporta that on Underdog is going in that 2-4, 2-5, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And here he's way down the board. Again, this is a non-tight end premium, but so is that.
Right.
So it is kind of, you kind of got to scroll down the board a little bit to go and find some of the guys. This one here, I would highly recommend setting some sort of queue.
It is. And I was just looking because I remember that specifically because when we did the other draft with Howard and Coop, I ended up getting Roma Dunze. I think it was Roma Dunze so late. And it was one of those where you just had to keep, because it's with the rookies too, that you especially notice that you had to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Like right now, I'm looking at, I finally found Derrick Henry. He's sandwiched in between Ramondre Stevenson and DeAndre Swift. And that's like wild. So yeah. Vince, exactly. You said a Q for 300. Yep. So I mean, there's a lot of players in here that you got to look for. So just, it kind of makes you keep in mind, okay, if there's somebody specific that I want, don't forget to keep scrolling because, it might be just like shopping at Ross. You might find a hidden little gem in there that you've forgotten about.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out with having to scroll a little bit more. You're going to find, like you said, some diamonds in the rough kind of a thing, but you're also going to probably going to find some guys higher in ADP on this particular platform than on any other.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really interested, Gator, to see how your team turns out because you've got Jonathan Taylor and then Drake London. And normally, I don't know that I've seen too many teams be able to get that build right there because normally either London and Taylor are both going in the second round. So I'm curious to see how yours turns out.
Well, there's I don't know how many drafts I've done on Underdog at this point, close to 25 at least.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of the when we first started Underdog season, or best ball season, I seem to get the 10, 11, 12 in like every single draft. And for the first 3 or 4 builds, it was kind of the exact same build. Because that's who was falling, or that's ADP wise, that's what it was. Yeah. And it's so hard to change up from those particular ones, especially that early when you're in the start of best ball season. And then here lately, it's been like the other night when we ended up in 6, right? Yeah. The 2 drafts I did prior to that, both of them I ended up with the 1 spot. And this is like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how it comes out. But like a Jonathan Taylor, Drake London, I don't have very many shares of them on anywhere. Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to come out as well. And you're on the clock right here with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and this will be your second pick. Go ahead and read while you're doing that. Let me give you the first round. Goes Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Robinson, Saquon Barkley. However, that was quite of a trip around the world 3 times in order to get Saquon Barkley picked there.
We went all the way to Australia with Vince to get Saquon Barkley there.
We had to go all the way to Australia and then come all the way back. And then Puka Nacua, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs. Second round started with A.J. Brown, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Adams, Devon Achane, Kyren Williams, which you seem to have fallen in love getting Kyren Williams and that mid to late second. Going off the board here, he is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th running back off the board, followed by Travis Etienne. And we're sitting here right now waiting for Vince at the 2-9.
Exactly. So, I mean, Kyren Williams put up, 21.2 points per game in PPR formats last season, second only to the one and only Christian McCaffrey, who got married this weekend. Congrats to Christian McCaffrey. I am obsessed with seeing all those really cool wedding videos that are out floating around on the internet. Anyway, back to fantasy football. Yeah, I mean, Kyren Williams, a guy on an incredibly efficient offense, a little bit slept on there with the Rams. And, I mean, in this format, in this roster, build with what you've got to work with are those 9 position players. I'm okay. I'm okay with taking a running back here and not having to go, so heavy, running back, or not running back, heavy receiver like we typically do in underdog drafts.
Yeah, I was going to see if that was going to happen with you. You went with the wide receiver to start with, but then that was, you kind of, normally our builds are wide receiver for the first 3 rounds, and you kind of changed it up. Like you've got a big tournament coming up or something that you need to try and change your draft strategy around, and it's kind of.
I am trying out different draft strategies because I don't want people to know how I draft, because it's not like I'm on podcast 2 nights a week talking about how I like to pick receiver and how it's Sam Laporta no matter what.
Right. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, our professor and co-host Stacy Perez got invited and accepted to play with the FFPC Joes vs. Pros.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We are very excited. That's my first year doing the Pros versus Joes tournament. We'll be drafting on Sunday the 21st in a league that has some real sharks in it. So getting totally thrown into the deep end there. My first year, but super, super excited about that. I'll be posting some information about that once it gets ready, because like I said, those are going to be live streamed through the FFPC. So really excited about that. But also, we might want to start, kind of checking out different ways to draft so that I don't get pigeonholed in the way that I always do things, just in case, since I'm going to be in a room with such sharp drafters.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to change it up being around those guys. Those guys and gals.
Keep them on their toes. Well, I think I'm the only lady in my division, but I know there are definitely more in the tournament.
Yeah, it should be fun. Finishing off the second round there after Kyron Williams, Travis Etienne, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Pittman Jr., Nico Collins, and then Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Outside of the Barkley situation, they're going at the 8 spot there overall. With the auto or whatnot. Anything else stand out right off the bat with Jonathan Taylor? You're gonna call me out on Jonathan Taylor again? Okay, fine.
No, I like the Jonathan Taylor pick. I'm looking. There's at least 2, possibly 3 players that I always see go in that second round, specifically receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And they have not gone yet, and like getting them in the third would be such like a little coup. I think if you can make it happen.
Well, you're gonna be on. Yep, you're gonna be on the clock here, so you're gonna have your chance in at least one of them.
Exactly. And this is just a standalone, guys, so we don't really have to worry about doing any kind of correlation or anything like that. Carla, there you go. That's fine. I want somebody else to take Sam Laporta so that I am not as tempted to do so. All right, who am I have 2 minutes. Gator, who am I going to take here?
No, you don't. You only have one.
Oh, that's right. You did switch it. You switched it. All right.
Yeah, I do. I want you to make your pick here, and then I do have a question for you regarding, again, this is a 12-team standalone. We're not okay. You don't have to be rude and take my guy.
Oh, sorry.
No, why did you even say it like that? Because you're not sorry.
I'm not sorry. Just like Carlo's not sorry for taking Sam Laporta. And you shouldn't be. Go take your people. Listen, that's what you do, right? Like, you got to know your draft room. If you know somebody is inclined to take a certain player and you like that player, go get them before they do.
Yeah, Carla's got one thing in mind. As soon as I brought it up, Carla was like, "It's the ring, the ring."
Right. We're like what is the little dude from Lord of the Rings? Like the little my precious, that guy. He's got to go get the ring, right?
Got to go.
I've only seen that movie once. I don't really. That's all I remember. Is it what's do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not a Lord of the Rings person. I have never seen it. Now, I would not say that in front of my daughter because she would probably shoot me sitting here and then say hi to everybody on camera. Like, yeah, I did that for you.
Thank you, scampers. It's the little like weird, creepy looking dude. That's like, oh, my precious, and he's like talking about the little. I don't think his name is Tom. Vince, Vince, I want to hear more about why you're not allowed back at the mall food court. Right. If you're allowed to talk about that here. It's a court order. Don't want to get you in trouble. There. Yeah, Devontae Smith was actually the other player that I was looking at besides Ayuk that typically goes like in around that second round area.
Yeah, this is about the third stream that I've been on where Vince has been there and been like, "Yep, I got Dennison Oliver Moore Jr.
DJ Moore, folks. DJ Moore. I really like that because that's one of my little bits that I like to do at live drafts, Vince, is I like to call players by their full legal government names.
Yes.
So that's a fun one. I didn't know that was DJ Moore's name. So thank you for giving me that.
I'll put it to you like this. I believe DJ Moore or Dennison Oliver Moore Jr. is one of Vince's favorite players. So if you're in a draft with Vince, you can snipe him.
Yeah.
With just
Vince, are you a Bears fan? That's what I'm wondering now. Schmeagle. Yeah, That's right. That creepy little dude. Gosh. This is wild. I hope everybody in the draft is not keep continuing to scroll down because
I know.
Holy guacamole, Batman. There are some names that I just ran through over here. I got to start throwing some people in my queue before I forget them.
Well, I'm hopefully gonna take this guy right here. Going 2 rounds after his mate over there with the Rams. But I cannot pass up Cooper Kupp in the end of the third round.
I just put Cooper Kupp in my queue, Gator.
Good. I'm glad I got him. Haha. Nanny.
A little stack there.
Nanny boo boo.
now
Stacy, the question I was going to ask you was, we've talked about, not only stacking but also correlation, and I want your opinion on, in leagues like this where it's a 12-team standalone league, no tournament. correlation, you know, we don't need to have correlation for this particular league.
No.
Is there any benefit to having correlation in this league?
In a standalone, I can't think of any. I mean, it's weeks 1 through 17, right? And it's just the people that you're playing with here. So I don't know that it necessarily, you know, I don't know that would benefit you enough to make it a point to go specifically do it. You know, if it happens, sure. You know, and I'm sure, you know, if you look for weeks 15 through 17, you're probably at some point going to have some sort of a match. I think you'd have to try really hard not to have a matchup in those 3 specific weeks that are, you know, works out in your lineup. But I personally am not going to be, that's not going to be something that I'm prioritizing. I'm looking at more like doing stacks and going to get the players, especially in 16 rounds. You know, we're going to have pretty stacked lineups here. So I want to go after guys that I know are going to be productive and consistent and have the ability to get on the field and produce.
Yeah, I like that. Jalen Hurts, first quarterback off the board.
The board paired with AJ Brown there. I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
Kelsey said that's lovely. Good job, Diamond Mike.
Now he's got
me. You're not a Bears fan. You're a Bengals fan because they were the worst team in professional sports. I don't think they're the worst team now. So
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Go stripy cats. Not scamper cats, but stripy cats.
That's right.
Oh, I thought I did it already. Oh, I almost got auto drafted there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got 20 seconds left. You're good.
Yeah, because I forget you got to click him and then click the draft button. Which again, that's just something a little bit different, but you can just get used to it. I guess it's fine. I've got caught on that a couple of times. But Trey McBride right there. How do you like that? Third tight end off the board.
Nice. That's nice. Get you some Trey McBride. I'm gonna scroll through here and try to find some more value at receiver, maybe.
Yeah, I had to scroll over to look at the starting lineups again. That's 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 kicker, 1 defense.
Exactly.
Like Carla said a little bit ago, yes, a small lineup. You got to go get your guy kind of a thing.
Exactly. Gotta go get your guys.
It's gonna be a short bench, short bench. So you know if it was, you know, take my Scott Fishbowl from last year. And I went first round, I went Jalen Hurts. Second round, I went Jonathan Taylor. Third round, coming all the way back around, I was able to get Anthony Richardson, right? So I was feeling great after 3 rounds. The draft looked good to go. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, whatever it was, 3 weeks into the season, I was 0 points out of 2 of my top 3 guys. Jonathan Taylor's not playing.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson's not playing.
Yep.
You know, it hurts so bad.
Bad year for this Colts. Yeah. Bad year to have the Colts.
You can, with a short bench like this, I mean, you're starting 2, 4, 6, 8. You're starting 9, counting your kicker and defense, right? So you're really only starting 7. And I mean, you only got 16 rounds, so you're going to have a short bench. Mark Andrews off the board. What are you thinking coming up here, Stacy?
So I'm looking at potentially maybe a tight end. Although I think I can probably get away with maybe pushing that a little bit here. I might go grab a 3rd receiver and then just kind of fill out my 2 receiving spots, potentially a flex. You know, I always think that, you know, like your second running back is your least valuable position. So I'm probably going to wait on that for a while. But again, with a smaller roster, I'm probably going to be able to get somebody pretty decent at my second pick. You know, so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I don't feel like I need to go with, you know, a quarterback yet. I feel like I can push quarterback pretty far in a league like this. You know, if I want to, depending on my build, that's probably something I'm going to look at trying to stack. Potentially, not to give away too much, but I think that just makes sense when you're trying to do something like this. If you're focused more on stacking, you know, you want to kind of go after those, you know, receiver quarterback matchups if you can.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up a second ago with Jalen Hurts going off there at the 4-1.
Yep.
You know, not saying that Jalen Hurts would have come back to him here. I think that was, you know, probably if that's what you wanted to stack was AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. I don't know that you'd have got him at 5-12.
Right.
I think there's going to be a quarterback run here in the end of this 4th, early 5th round. Jalen Hurts would have been one of those. So I think that's a good spot to go get him there. But would you have rather just just throwing this question out here in best ball. Would you rather stack A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, or would you rather stack Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, if those are your two options?
Ooh, I think for me, I probably am going to prefer to go Hurts Brown. I think they've got more upside. I'm not saying they're more talented, because obviously I think the Mahomes Kelce, duo is way more talented. But you take a look at, Mahomes' numbers last year in fantasy, they weren't that great. He gets the job done and he is amazing. He's Patrick Mahomes. They went on the field, but he's not putting up, your massive fantasy numbers every week. And Kelce was hurt at the beginning of last season, so it's no surprise there. But he's going to be the one that teams are trying to go after and cover, leaving some other guys open. So if I've got if you're just asking me who I think potentially could score more points, I think I'm going to have to go with AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts there.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. And I think what comes into play for me is Kelsey's a little bit older.
Right.
But the upgrades, and it may, however minute you may think they are, the upgrades that KC does have at the wide receiver position compared to what they had last year is going to factor in. I think, we don't know what Jalen Hurts is going to be doing rushing the ball, or if he's even going to be rushing as much, but we've seen it. We know he can run the ball. We know he can get the ball out, of course, to AJ Brown, and going to get the end zone there. So I think I'm with you there. I think it's Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. And do you agree that Hurts wasn't making it back to him?
Oh, yeah. I don't think Hurts was making it back to you. No, absolutely not. I'm just pulling up the numbers last year. So in PPR formats, Hurts had 21 points per game. If you're looking at Mahomes, he had 17.5. Right? I mean, we're talking who had
rushing
more points than that, right? At this point, we had CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love. Obviously this takes into account, guys, it takes into account their entire season. And it, what I'm looking on fantasy data is where I'm looking right now for those numbers. So I mean, it's got Joe Flacco on there, but somebody that, only played a handful of games as opposed to guys who played the entirety of the season. But still, I think the point still stands is that he, played 16 games and averaged 17.5 games per, so not really, what I'm looking for if it's a quarterback that I want to take right off the, as one of those elite guys, which he is obviously elite. So if you want him, you are going to have to take him there. Although apparently this draft doesn't think so, because Anthony Richardson just went ahead of him. But I mean, Anthony Richardson, he was only playing for 4 games, but in those 4 games, he averaged 18.2 points per game. So pretty solid.
Pretty solid. Yeah, they
was gonna snipe Kincaid. So Kincaid was the other player that was in my queue as well, but I decided you can't be leaving Mike Evans for me in the 4th round.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I left Mike Evans for you, thinking I was going to slide him around the way the way everything was falling. It just seemed like he would, but I forget that you are a Tampa fan too. I don't care if you want to wave that Green Bay flag all you want to. Mike Evans is your guy.
I'm a Mike Evans fan, and I feel like Evans obviously is pretty expensive, but the rest of that team you can get fairly cheaply, if you're trying to build like a Tampa stack. And, they play the Panthers in week 17. I think they've got pretty favorable matchups weeks 15 and 16 as well. So, if you're looking to put together, in your bigger tournaments like correlation style with Tampa Bay, I mean, that's an easy one to do.
Yeah. Yeah, Tiger King just wrapped around there with 2 of the players I had in my queue with Richardson and McLaurin. So nice. I'm going to say sniping. The Richardson, I think, was a snipe. Maybe a full round early, but he said that stack was not happening, Vince. The stack was not happening.
Yeah. No, he was not letting you do it there. Yeah, the Allen Kincaid stack. Nope.
I'll run through the round 3, round 4 real quick while Stacy's looking at the clock coming back at her. We had DK Metcalf, Isaiah Pacheco, Derrick Henry, DJ Moore, Sam Laporta, Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Smith, Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, James Cook, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, wrapping around with Jalen Hurts to start the 4th, Trey McBride, Rashad White, Mark Andrews, Josh Jacobs, George Pickens, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Josh Allen. 2nd quarterback off the board, Dalton Kincaid, Amari Cooper, and then Anthony Richardson to end the 4th round here. Starting about halfway through the 5th, Stacy coming up on the clock. What are you thinking with this next pick, Stacy? You right now are sitting there with your 3 wide receivers of Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, and then your lone stud running back there, Kyren Williams.
So I'm looking at my bye weeks now because I'm thinking maybe it might be time to go after another running back. So I've got my 3 receivers. I've got my 3 starters at, receiver and then at flex, most likely. And then I've got my one guy with Kyren. So maybe it's time for a running back. And I think it's still too early for me to take a quarterback at this point. I mean, we only have 4 off the board. So, all right, Carla's taking Ken Walker.
You've got a small run here on the running back position with Mixon and Walker both falling off the board here. You are on the clock here with 40 seconds or so to go. What are you thinking right now? Talking about the running backs, are you still thinking running back here with these 2 going right in front of you, or are we looking somewhere else?
We're looking at tight end. I'm going to go Cal there in the 5th.
Okay, you can't hate that with the upgrade there, with the upgrade at both quarterback and OC there. So
exactly, just yeah. So you're debating. So Lanier's over here debating Evans, Allen, Kincaid, or Lamar in the 4th. I just made the decision for him with Kincaid there. I mean, I think, for him, what was he, the 4th tight end off the board? No problem with that.
Kincaid, yeah. No, yeah. fifth tight end off the board for Kincaid.
Carla likes Pitts this year. I like Pitts too. I think I saw a stat there. I wish I could remember where I saw it specifically because it's been a while, but I think it was that Kirk Cousins last season threw, I think 27% of the time to his tight end, TJ Hawkinson there in Minnesota. So good things, for Kyle Pitts if he keeps that up, which he should historically. Kyle Cousins, that's not him. I'm combining their names. Kirk Cousins likes to throw to his tight end, so that should benefit Kyle Pitts quite a bit. So I like that. I like Pitts this year, and man, if he doesn't do it this year, then I feel like we can all get off the train, and that's fine. But this year, I'm a big believer. I'm very, very overweight on Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I like Kyle Pitts again this year. I don't think it's that hard to if you're going to be high on Drake London. We've had this conversation. If you're going to be high on Drake London, if you're going to, sit there and say that Kirk Cousins is that big of an upgrade, and yes, I do believe he is that big of an upgrade from what they had.
Yeah.
If you're going to be that high on Drake London this year after what he put up last year, you should be that high on Kyle Pitts because all Kyle Pitts is a big slot. You know what I mean? He's going to run down the field. So we saw him do it in year 1. We saw him do it for the 2 years there at Florida. He's going to do it again. And like you say, if he doesn't do it this year, then it's off the train, right? But
I think so. I mean, so he had 90 targets last year with only 53 receptions. I think that really just speaks more to his quarterback play, not necessarily his talent. He's getting targeted the ball, but you actually got to have good targets to be able to catch him. So,
well, yeah, but I don't know if you can call the 10-yard over his head a target, even though they consider it a target.
I don't know how they count it. Yeah, I don't count those stats.
It's with inside of the stadium, in the quarterback was looking at him.
Yeah, it was looking in his direction.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, I had him on my queue as well. I think I go right here. I can't believe he made it to me, but Aaron Jones right here just seems like somebody that's going to get a lot of volume no matter who is the quarterback.
Yeah, Aaron Jones feels good. Aaron Jones in the 5th feels good to me. Ooh, Carla, what do we think about Mooney being a sleeper? Mooney is somebody that because I've done quite a few Atlanta stacks. They're so easy to do with especially if you're at the tail end of your draft, grabbing Drake London, then you can go get Pitts. Followed up Kirk Cousins super, super late. I love doing that. So I've definitely taken Mooney in the last few rounds of my drafts just to kind of throw him in as somebody else if I'm doing that kind of stack for Atlanta. I'm not a huge Mooney fan, but I think that offense is, what do they say? Rising tide lifts all boats. So I think everybody's going to benefit from that.
Yeah, I like Mooney late.
Yeah.
Especially in best ball. especially in
I don't know that I would
best
do redraft. I don't think I'm brave enough to do redraft unless you're in like a crazy deep league, and then we can talk. But yeah, in best ball all day long, love it.
Yeah, Zamir White off the board here. It's somebody that I'm starting to buy into.
Zamir.
Yeah, it's just the question of the volume that he's going to get. And I get if you look at his numbers last year for the 4 games or whatnot, great numbers. With Josh Jacobs there, he was still getting a little bit, but I look at the change of head coach and an OC there, and I still have questions. Dylan Lobb's there. You got Devontae Adams, who is going to demand the ball. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's good value here in the 5th. What's that?
Are you a big believer in Madison? And don't they still have
No.
Yeah, so
No, I was never a believer in Madison.
No, I think it's Zamir White season, baby. I am all in on Zamir White too. That's another one I love. And then I'll go grab a little Dylan Lobb there at the end.
Here's a guy that
Lobb is going to be potentially on special teams, maybe doing some punt returns. So, those of you in the fishbowl, keep that in mind as somebody who could potentially benefit from that scoring system.
Go ahead and take a guy that's fallen down the board a little bit here that I think still has some juice left. And with the new coaching staff, it looks like they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more than the Titans and Houston Oilers / Houston Oilers have done since Warren Moon was there.
Houston Oilers. That's funny. All right.
Evan Ingram off the board here. Oh wow, starting to get some of these big names off the board that are just straight volume plays.
There's still a couple of really good tight ends that are out there. There's at least 3 that I see that are pretty solid that I project are probably going to end up in the top 10 here by the end of the season.
Format like this, Stacy, how many tight ends are you going after with only 16 rounds to draft?
Probably just 2. Probably 2. And I may not take, here's probably what's going to happen is that I'm probably going to go defense and kicker as my last 2 picks. Cause whenever I do have to take those, that's usually where I end up taking them is the last 2 picks. I really don't care. I don't have a preference for kickers or defense, maybe a little bit more, but.
So you're only taking 1 kicker, 1 defense in this?
In a 16.
What about a bye week?
Okay. Yeah. Get a big 0 on the bye week. I could
put a 0 there.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to waste a roster spot with 2D. That's 4 roster spots.
Yes.
Where I only have 12
for a onesie position.
Yikes! Yeah, so not loving that. Ooh, Jordan Love going early. I like that. Show some love, Jordan Love. I think he's gonna.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was seeing coming here was with the Ingram, Kamara, Stevenson pick here. This is a volume. This is volume round right here.
It is. You're going after those RBs that are not going to be your elite guys, but are going to be on the field, absolutely getting just run into the ground. And speaking of that, here's another one who's going to get run into the ground.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's getting run in the
ground. Oh, there it is. I didn't hit the right button. Scampers, this is the best ball tourney. This is not managed. So now RTS has redraft. They have best ball. So really whatever your pleasure, they've got, you can do both on here. But particularly what we are doing tonight is just best ball.
Interesting.
Exactly. So I took Najee there. Joe Burrow goes, and then Kyler. It's a naked Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's the last 3, 4. Last 5 quarterbacks are naked. Last 6 quarterbacks are naked.
Well, I mean, I still like a good quarterback wide receiver stack, but that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Scamper 16 round best ball. Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Little eye emoji. Tank Dell. That's right, Vince. Good job getting Tank Dell. That's my boy this year.
Yeah, so round 5 went like this. It went Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Lamar Jackson was the 4th quarterback off the board. Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker, Kyle Pitts, Deontay Johnson. Shia LaBeouf right there. Good Lord. Thank you for sniping me there. Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love, Jaden Reed, Aaron Jones, Zamir White. And then round 6 starts off with DeAndre Swift, DeAndre Hopkins, Evan Ingram, Alvin Kamara, Ramondre Stevenson, Joe Burrow, Najee Harris, Kyler Murray, Tank Dell, Calvin Ridley, George Kittle, and the 6-12 is 25 seconds from the pick here. It is Jonathan Brooks there. Interesting. I like Jonathan Brooks. I guess at this point it's about ADP or whatnot, but 6th round being his second running back off the board. How do you like Jonathan Brooks here?
So I think my concern with Jonathan Brooks is really just, kind of that concern that everybody has with running backs coming off an injury, right? The year that they come back, you worry a little bit about their production. Are they going to feel comfortable, using that leg that they were injured on, using it to be as explosive as they need to be? So that's my biggest concern with Jonathan Brooks. And do we know for a fact that he is going to be starting, week 1? I don't know yet. I don't know that. I don't know that I've seen anything saying that for sure. Gator, have you?
I have not seen anything for sure. I'm just assuming by where they drafted him, that it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to be the starter.
Maybe it is the Panthers, though. Who knows? Who knows what they do? But that's just my concern. I mean, like, I'm looking at the running back, or like who's left right now. There's definitely several guys that I feel like I probably would have taken over him. Jaylen Warren being one, James Conner, Tony Pollard. Other than that, though, I mean, he's their second guy. He's got McCaffrey, right? So running back 2 is really your kind of, like we talked about, it's your least valuable position. So why not take a rookie with immense upside there? So, like pros and cons with both, but if it hits, that's going to be a stacked or running back room for sure.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are going to be a lot better this year than they were expected to be. So
that was ugly last year. That was hard to watch last year.
Yeah, I just put it into the
7th. Oh my gosh! See, everybody forgot about T. Higgins. You got to keep scrolling, guys. We're telling you. Keep scrolling.
Let me go ahead and clear off my queue here. Everything's been crossed off. Thank you to the drafters for dwindling this queue that I had nice and set up just in case. Now I got to rebuild the whole dang thing.
Look at that. CJ Stroud going in the 7th round.
Yeah. T. Higgins, CJ Stroud, all in the 2nd round. Gotta love it.
Oh, there goes my boy Lad. All right, I am on the clock here. I don't know that I want to do any of those yet.
What are you thinking there, Stacy?
I don't know, but I better hurry up. I only have 30 seconds left. Better speed it up.
Speed it up. Well,
oh man, I have somebody in my queue, but I think it's a little too early for them. Maybe not though. Well, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I'm gonna grab Kirk.
There you go.
I was looking at who are my starters who are left? Who are my ones that are left? We got Christian Kirk. I don't want to hear anything about Brian Thomas coming in now. It's Christian Kirk, all right, until further notice.
Yeah, I think I am going to on my pick, that way I don't mess everybody else's pick up. I put it into the private chat. Only got one response, so I'm just going to do it anyway. On my pick, I'm going to move the clock to a 30-second clock.
Yes.
That would be great. Okay. Well, I figured you would be okay with that.
I am absolutely okay with that. Yeah. It seems like, because we are going on an hour and we are only on around 7. Right. So yeah.
Well, we had about 30 minutes to get Saquon Barkley on the board.
Exactly. We did have a little bit slow go there. So
Carla says do it. So that's all that matters.
Do it. We got Carla's blessing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The one that's here, the only one that's here for the ring says do it. So we're doing it.
Exactly. We got her blessing.
Actually, you know what I should do is right now.
You should do it right now. J Far's not doing too bad there for an auto draft team with Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. He's got Ramondre as his third running back, and Patty Mahomes and David Njoku. That's not a bad little group.
Nah, so we're down. Okay, down to a 30-seconder here. It's going to be fun to watch how this plays out. The quarterbacks that I was looking to get between over these next 2 to 3 rounds here have already gone off the board, and it's kind of aggravating. So I feel like I'm going to have to reach a little bit, or go completely naked like I'm going to do here, and go get one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to passing the ball right now, who could be passing for 700 passes this year, and getting him in the 7th round. QB3 from last year, Dak Prescott.
Well, I kind of feel like Justin Herbert's finally getting some of the love that he deserves here in round 7, because God knows he's not getting any of it over in those underdog drafts. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's not. Jordan Addison off the board.
There we go.
This is shaping up to be, my team is shaping up to be a bunch of, they one leg in the ground, 1 foot on solid ground. But I think more legs are in 6 feet down than they are on solid ground, kind of a thing.
You've got some youngins there with Drake London and Trey McBride, and then you got some guys who the phrase I like to use, Gator, is 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel. That's the phrase I like there with Cooper Kupp and DeAndre Hopkins.
Very, very, very fair.
A nice little balance of young and old. Get your wily veterans.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and see if I can get a gravedigger as the coach or something here in a minute. With DeAndre Hopkins and Cooper Kupp on the team,
Vince, you got smashed at work. I see that in the chat over here. I don't know what smashed means in Australian. Over here,
it's not good to do that at work.
At work, then that may not be a good thing. Maybe that means something different in Australia. I don't know.
Is this the reason he's not allowed back in the mall?
maybe because he got smashed at work. Who knows?
Good Lord. Stacy, you've got no quarterback to this point. Looks like, I'm just double checking, we've got every other team has at least 1, and we have 1 team that already has 2.
Yeah.
Feeling safe enough to hang out for a little bit longer, or do we need to go ahead and get one?
So I actually was going to do a nice little, I was going to go after Purdy was my guy. And then I also had Goff on my list. And obviously those 2 guys just got taken here in round 8 back to back. So can't take either one of them. So now I got to look at my other options, but that's okay, because I got 3 other guys on the board that I'm okay with.
Well, I'm hoping you're not looking at any of the guys that I have on my board. To be quite honest, it would not be very nice of you to do that.
I am going to go with, I don't have any Trevor Lawrence. I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and take Trevor.
Oh, the dad to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dad to be. I feel like there's so much social news coming out. I feel like all of our NFL players, if you were going to get married in the offseason, they all got married this weekend. Like I saw, obviously McCaffrey, Dawson Knox, Jordan Love got engaged. Trevor Lawrence announcing that his wife is pregnant. So I think Jared Goff got married this offseason too. So lots of happenings.
You don't think that has anything to do with training camps or anything like that, do you? excused absences from mandatory mini camps, or
exactly. I liked Aaron Rodgers though, was excused to take a trip to Egypt, which we can only imagine what kind of stuff he was getting into in Egypt.
I thought ayahuasca was only in South America.
I don't think you should probably do ayahuasca in Egypt. I feel like that would be bad time for you if you got caught with that. Roma Dunze going in round 8. Love it. Jaden Daniels going with that, pairing with Kyler Murray for Carla. That's fun. That's a fun combo right there. Those 2 guys talk about little speedy speedy dudes.
Yeah, I'm not happy with Carla right now.
Carla taking your guys.
She's only done it like 3 times.
Only 3 times. No biggie.
But that's all right. That's okay. I know what she's after. She's only after one thing. She's just after the ring. No, I didn't. I did not say this. I did not say this, Carla. You said it. I didn't.
There goes Pollard, Xavier Worthy.
So round 7, 7 and 8 look like this: Malik Neighbors, C.J. Stroud, T. Higgins, James Conner, Ladd McConkey, Christian Kirk, Chris Godwin, David Njoku, Zach Moss, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Jordan Addison. Then we had Rashid Rice starting the 8th round, Christian Watson, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Devin Singletary, T.J. Hawkinson. First tight end for Shia LaBeouf there, T.J. Hawkinson, who won't play for at least the first 5 to 6 weeks. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, Jaden Daniels, Roma Dunze, Jalen Warren, David Montgomery, and Tony Pollard coming off the board at the 8-12 here. Starting the 9th round now. We're into the 4th pick of the 9th round. Stacy, you're coming up on the clock here. You finally got your quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. What's the thought process going into this next pick?
So I'm looking at now. Okay, I'm taking a look at my roster, saying, all right, what other? We've got pretty much everything filled out except for kicker and defense, which we already talked about. I'm not taking for a while. Rashid Shaheed, Carla, you are definitely getting in the high. He is getting steamed up these draft boards so high right now, and I love it. I love Rashid. Oh, I only have 11 seconds.
Holy I will tell you this about what my thing on Rashid Shaheed is. I'm not so sure, even with these kick return rules, that he is actually going to be the kick returner. I think that may be more somebody else that everybody likes to go overdraft and Taysom Hill because of the way these are set up. I think there's a very good possibility that Rashid Shaheed could be that ultimate wide receiver 2, especially with the new coaching staff that's going to be down there on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I quit. This is BS. Stacy Perez, what are you doing? Why are you even messing with Jake Ferguson? Why do you even got to touch him?
I'll tell you what happened was that I didn't it didn't click that we had changed the timer to 30 seconds. And when I looked up, I had 12 seconds left on the clock and I freaked out for a second and I looked at my queue and the first one that I had there, I was like, let's go, Jake Ferguson. I can't believe that you've left him to me for this long. Round 9. So I had Bowers on there too, but Vince grabbed Sorry, not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Wide receiver 2 is good. I don't know how good in that offense. It's just, the Derek Carr thing is the question there, Carla. So we shall see.
For sure. But who knows? It could be Spencer Rattler by week 6.
So Derek Carr's uncle. They're the same person, Stacy.
It's not that the same person. I thought you were going to say same age. It was like, he's not fucking bad.
They are basically the same age. Oh, boy. Just do it. Just do it. Why didn't it not go? There we go. Oh. I just go ahead and do it this way and just be done with it. Because go ahead and take him now. Because if I don't, somebody else is going to take him before I get him.
I know. I better start looking at some other backups over here. There's still some pretty good value at quarterback left in this.
There is. Queue. There absolutely is value there. Oh, dang. I didn't even look. I had to scroll down a little bit further. I had missed Tua.
Yeah, Tua was still there. Exactly.
Yeah. So even though we've done this once before and know you got to scroll down a little bit, we still got to scroll down even further. So, yeah, it's completely different when it comes to this platform compared to any of the others, whether it be FFPC, Underdog, any of those, the ones we have already done. Stacy, I'm looking at tight ends right now. I've got one that I really, really like right here. Value wise, I think I'm going to go ahead and take him here and just be okay with him as my backup, and that's going to be Luke Musgrave.
Oh, Luke Musgrave, not who I thought it was, but I like it though.
Who did you think it was?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take him, so I'll say it. Dallas Goedert is still available.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just again, that's just
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I've never been a Dallas Goedert guy.
No.
When you look at what he did last year, I mean, it was okay.
Not
Not,
impressed.
I'm not, yeah, I'm not impressed.
Dallas
Not at all.
83 targets, 59 receptions for a grand total of 9.7 PPR points per game. Puts him in the top 12, right behind Dalton Kincaid and right in front of Dalton Kincaid, right behind Dalton Schultz. So same, he's in between the Daltons.
Mm-hmm.
And Darren. There's Dalton, Dallas, Dalton, Darren. Good Lord. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's another one that I'm not going to be in this year is Dalton Schultz.
No. I thought you were going to say Darren Waller, and I was like, good news. He's retired.
You mean? Never mind. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
What are those rap guys?
Down, yeah.
What you said earlier, you were going to be looking at kicker and defense somewhere in those last 2 rounds and just calling it done, just taking best available, either one of those.
Yeah, that's normally my strategy when it comes to that. Now I'm kind of wondering if I need to go second QB here. Ooh, Justin Tucker off the board.
I had a feeling that was going to be happening here, and that's why I was wondering, who was going to be the first kicker off the board. And it is Justin Tucker there in the 10th round. I agree with you, though. I think that's a little early for me. We already know, unless you're taking 2 of them, yeah, you take the best one, but still, again, you're unless you're taking 2 of them, you're going to get a 0 in 1 week. So it's to me, it's not beneficial to have that kicker be the first one. I don't care that he is the best kicker in the NFL right now.
Right.
I don't think the points are going to matter that much.
Yeah.
Got to look at Baltimore's schedule, but I do believe that they play a lot of outdoor games. You get there, you got your glass of Chardonnay.
That's right. I did. Mm-hmm.
I like it. Drafts picked up now that we moved it down to 30 seconds. So moving right along here, right? Coming up on the end of the 10th round. Round 9 goes like this: Xavier Worthy, Raheem Mostert, Marquise Brown, Brock Bowers, Rasheen Shaheed, Jake Ferguson, Caleb Williams, Austin Eckler, Khalil Shakir, Pat Freiermuth, Kirk Cousins, Tua Tagovailoa, Chase Brown, Luke Musgrave, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jerome Ford, the Brian Washington. First kicker off the board, Justin Tucker.
You mean Brian Robinson?
The Brian Robinson. Not. I was in our group chat today for the first Catfish Bowl. Somebody was in there saying they're going to take Brian Robinson 1-1. And they mean Brian, not Bijan. They mean Brian, the Brian Robinson.
I can't wait to see. I would love for that to happen in my draft.
Yes, me too. Justin Tucker, the first kicker off the board. Zach Charbonnet, Trey Benson, Keon Coleman, Ezekiel Elliott. That's going to be an interesting one. And we may have to talk about him in just a minute here. But Curtis Samuel, Dallas Goedert at the 10-12. So as much as I don't like him in the 10th round, Dallas Goedert, that's good value. First tight end for team 1 there. The Tiger King. So I like that. Zeke Elliott, what's your impressions of Zeke Elliott this year? Is he going to just get touchdowns? Is he going to get volume at all? I mean, we saw a little bit of what maybe there was a resurgence of sorts last year.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think I'm really more of if I've got to take one of them, I think I'm really, because now, I mean, Zeke is going ahead of Rico, which I think is wild. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I prefer Rico. I liked what I saw out of him last season. I actually ended up having to start him in a couple places last year. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's Dallas and they love Zeke there, potentially that could just be a mess completely. I don't know that I want any part of it in a redraft. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to think about how they're actually going to use either one of those players. And I think possibly best ball is you're better off taking them in best ball if you want to take a gamble on a Dallas running back.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to touch Zeke this year. I think there's going to be a couple spots where I'm just going to throw a dart at him, but it's not going to be the 10th round.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a bit early. Same, I mean, and then here's my issue. And we turn right back around. Same team goes and gets Nick Chubb. You're probably not going to see any use out of Nick Chubb until after Thanksgiving at best. Now, granted, come the fantasy playoffs, you're going to get all the Nick Chubb and he's going to be fresh. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But are you in there at that point because you're taking Nick Chubb this early? You're and back in and right behind an Zeke Elliott, that style of player. It's going to be rough.
So, I mean, now I know that there's videos out there of him working out, like, just looking like an absolute monster that he is. I haven't taken. I am staying away from Nick Chubb this year. Same thing like what we talked about with Jonathan Brooks. I don't know that I want the guy the year that he comes back from the injury. I'd probably prefer him the year after. And such a serious injury as Nick Chubb had. I hope that he can come back just for football. I think he's a great guy. I know he's beloved by his teammates. But I personally don't want him on my team. I think that's just too much of a gamble for me.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that there. But it's the most volatile position anyway when it comes to running back. So,
what's up, Charlene?
Charlene,
girl. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by.
Love those last 4 rookie picks in a best ball, Vince. So, what did Vince do in the last 4 picks here? He went Adunze, Brock Bowers, Keon Coleman, and then Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I don't mind those at all.
Loving those rookies. I love it. I love Odunze. I think he's super duper talented, but I do think he is going to fall. I think he's in the same spot as like a JSN last year, right? Where you just have the bad luck to get put on a team, with 2 solidified guys that are going to be the 1 and 2. And then, in a couple of years, and Dynasty, man, I love Rome Odunze in Dynasty. But in best ball, probably has more value towards the end of the season than he does now. So somebody like Alad McConkey, I feel like is warranted to take him ahead of somebody like Rome. I know Keon Coleman is getting blown up those draft boards too, just because he's an absolute delight to watch on social media. And there's like a power vacuum in Buffalo, so who knows what's going to happen there. But I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant to go full Coleman, I think. I don't know. And I don't know too much about Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know. He would have been a good fit on this team here if I'd have gone really just hardcore with Jacksonville with taking Kirk and Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Brian Thomas fan. I think that's pretty well known. Not a huge Keon Coleman fan. I think that's pretty well known. I think for Keon Coleman, I think he landed the best spot, and we talked about this last night with Bob Harris.
Oh, Bob Harris.
Landing there in Buffalo with Josh Allen, he's going to have the opportunity to take on that Stephon Diggs role. When it comes down to it, there's only really Dalton Kincaid and who else? Khalil Shakir.
Exactly.
So for Keon Coleman, I actually like the situation. The only thing I think he's got to do is learn to catch the ball away from his body with his hands. Mm-hmm. And if he does that, which I think he can, he just hasn't proven to do it yet, whether it was at Michigan State or at Florida State. He didn't do it at either one of them. He had a lot of craziness in his head at the time. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably what hurt him the most. As far as Brian Thomas Jr., my issue with him is, and I've said this made it very clear, I think he's a one-trick pony. He's a 9 route. Okay. So it's going to help. I think it's going to help Gabe Davis. Christian Kirk more than it's going to help anybody else in that team. It's going to allow Christian Kirk to run underneath everything. And he can take safeties with him. Christian Kirk's going to be able to drop behind the linebacker in front of the safeties and just run rampant in that offense. And I think that's what's going to help. That's what's going to make Brian Thomas a value in real life NFL, not in fantasy. Because again, once the NFL figures out, and I think a lot of them do already, he's got to learn how to run routes, and he doesn't run routes right now. Mm-hmm. Not that I've seen.
He wasn't one of my favorites coming out this year. That's for sure. Scampers. Yeah, Scampers are right. The amount of Gus Los Angeles disrespect, completely uncalled for. So I just pulled up Gus's numbers here. Played all 17 games, which is like unheard of for anybody on the Baltimore running back room.
Mm-hmm.
He did, let's see, 810 yards, 13 touchdowns, was scoring 11 points per game. He did have some use there in the receiving game with 180 yards there, but no touchdowns. You know, I mean, I don't know about Dobbins. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, TBD, I think really, to be determined with them. So I like Gus Edwards there. I think he's a great snag towards the end. And I mean, come on, that's everybody's concerned about the Chargers just being a run a heavy team. That's why Herbert's getting drafted so low. So I don't know how you can, have those concerns that, they're just gonna be such a run heavy team and then Gus Edwards is going so low.
Well, I think one of the issues with Gus Edwards, when you look at his numbers from last year, he was a red zone guy, right? That's what caused all those touchdowns. I don't think that they're going to be that prolific in the red zone this year. So take off some of those touchdowns, maybe a few more yards, but I think Gus is the first and second down back. When it comes to third down, yes, you can use Gus, but I think that's where JK is going to come in and probably Vidal taking some of that third down role. But no, I agree. Gus Edwards being disrespected is absolutely uncalled for. But I think a lot of that too is, yes, it's going to be a run game, but how much are they going to be running in the red zone? How many touchdowns is that going to allot Gus Edwards? When we saw him last year, like you said, 13 touchdowns on the ground?
Yeah, on the ground, yeah.
What I'd like to see is how many of those were inside the 20. And do we trust the Chargers offense to be inside the 20 that many times this year?
Let me take a look. I'm sure I can pull that up here if you give me just a second now that I made my pick.
Yeah, you are good to go here. We've had a couple more kickers going off the board here. Give you round 11 goes like this: Javonte Williams, Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Brian Thomas Jr., Tajay Spears, Matthew Stafford, Dalton Schultz, J.K. Dobbins, Taysom Hill, Kamani Vidal, Michael Wilson, Cortland Sutton. Round 12 is Blake Corum, Jerry Jeudy, Josh Palmer, Jacoby Myers, Brandon Aubrey, kicker from Dallas being the second kicker off the board, Jaleel McLaughlin, Ty Chandler, Jamison Williams, Gus Edwards, Jahan Dotson, Marshawn Lloyd, rookie running back out of Green Bay. Actually, I like that pick, especially in the 12th round. I think that's great value there. Cole Kmet's another one. 12-12 here. Cole Kmet, good value there for a tight end that everybody's down on, but I think there's actual upside for Cole Kmet with this offense. Somebody's got to catch the ball. You don't think it's going to be DJ Moore or Keenan Allen, do you? Because they suck.
Stop that. Stop that.
No, but I think there's going to be opportunity for Cole Kmet to not going to be a top 8 tight end, but can he be that a top 10, a top 15? There's possibilities there for him.
Oh yeah,
especially if we think that offense is going to run or throw as much as we think they are. Go ahead.
I'm still trying to pull that red zone data up here.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and take the guy we were talking about a minute ago, in Rico Dowell. I'm starting to gain a lot of exposure to him.
I'm super overweight on Rico Dowell. That is for sure.
I'm taking him as my third running back. Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Rico Dowell is my third running back. I don't know how much I like that, but may as well go ahead and keep the rookie theme going here. Not with my team in particular about it because I've got to get younger, but I'll go ahead and get Jalen Wright out of Miami. Dart throw here in the 14th round.
That's a super sexy pick. So do you want to hear something absolutely wild?
I love hearing wild things.
All 13 of those touchdowns came in the red zone.
That's what I was trying to say. Yep.
All 13.
Yep. Speaking of something wild, did you hear what I got this past weekend from the Potathon?
What did you get from the Potathon?
The Ricky Vaughn sleeveless jersey signed. Yes.
Wild thing. I love it.
Super stoked about that.
Wild thing.
Super stoked.
That's fantastic, Gator. Fantastic.
First defense is off the board with the
Ooh,
49ers.
That's nice.
I mean, this is the round you would expect to start seeing people reach a little bit, knowing that people like you and I are going to not take them to the 15th, 16th round, try to get out ahead of us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of put yourself into a corner here, Stacy. What are you doing?
Oh man. I'm gonna go grab another running back. And I'm gonna scroll real quick to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Give me a Khalil Herbert.
Okay.
In round 14. I don't know that he stays in Chicago. Who knows? But I like him better. I think he's better than Swift. All right, now I guess I have to start looking at defenses and special teams and kickers.
I believe you and I had that conversation last week or the week before about Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we sure did. Let's go.
I don't know about these defenses. Get the Ravens just coming off the board here. So many defenses have changed up players, which it's like that way every year. I don't. It's like throwing. It's like remember the game Pin a Tail on a Donkey?
Yes,
but it's you're not only blindfolded, you're like your eyes are taped shut. At this point, of course, I'm not a defensive guy. I don't play defense.
Jason,
Mr.
what's up,
Snyder?
To you. Thank you for popping in and saying hello.
Absolutely. The flag bearer, I guess, would be the right way to say it. Jason said, tell me if I'm saying it wrong, but I believe the flag bearer of the Hopefuls chat for SFB. I was going to call him the commander, the captain, but that doesn't seem right because that's Jason is not that type of guy, right? He's the behind the scenes, doesn't want all the front facing exposure and all that, but he should be getting all that. And I think so I just call him the flag bearer. Just subtle out there, just doesn't want all the exposure, but hey, wants everybody to know that, hey, we got a group over here for you.
Love it.
Round 13 looks like this. Will Levis, Greg Dulcich, Deshaun Watson, Tyler Bass, the second kicker off the board, Jonnu Smith, Brendan Cooks, Bucky Irvin, Antonio Gibson. Is it Kyramir Fairbairn?
I know that I don't say his name correctly. I say it a funny way. I say Kamimi, and I know that that's not. So I don't know actually how to say his first name. We'll just say the Houston kicker.
Yep, Houston kicker Fairbairn, Romeo Dobbs, Rico Dowd, Tyler Conklin, Tyler Lockett, Jalen Wright, Troy Franklin, the first defense off the board in the 49ers, Harrison Buckner, Yo Him Koo, the kicker from Atlanta, Khalil Herbert, Baltimore Ravens defense, Dawson Knox, the New York Jets defense, Mike Gesicki, the Dallas Cowboys defense, and then just the run-on kickers that we are fixing to have, Jake Elliott, Cameron Dicker, Jason Sanders, Cleveland Browns defense, Jake Moody, the Miami Dolphins defense, the Houston Texans defense. This is where it gets super fun because you want to know all of these players, right?
Yeah, you do.
This is where we care the most about these two rounds right here.
Yeah.
Jason says he'll take it. He'll be just one of the gang. And it's a great place to be. It absolutely is. Lockett in the 14th is killer value. Yeah, he was going in the 14th. He just didn't know if he was going to go 14-1 or if he was going to go 14. Because he was on the top of the queue when he went right there. So I had to pivot over to Jalen Wright. So yeah, that was it was fun. Thanks to I don't remember who's in the 12 spot there. Diamond Mike, that's who it is. Just helping everybody else in the draft, continue to beat up on my team and snipe the hell out of me. Fine. How did you go about selecting the Dolphins as your defense? What was your thought process in it being the Dolphins at that point?
So basically I'm over here looking at stats for, what offenses scored the most points last year. Honest to God, that's how I'm doing it. And I wanted Cleveland, but they went off the board. So then I went ahead and grabbed Miami. And there we go. That is how it's real. It's a hashtag analysis, Gator. Real in-depth stuff. I don't pay too much. I don't pay
I'm
too
fixing
much.
to get screwed here because I had a guy on the board here and now I can't find him. I thought I had him on the. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's fine. No, it's not.
Oh, well, what's wrong
That's
with you?
not who I picked.
Who did you pick?
Oh my Lord. I guess I'm going to go without a defense all year long. Good Lord. Well, we know who's not getting the ring, Carla.
No, I guess you gotta choose. Do you take a defense or do you take a kicker?
Oh, yeah. It's at this point, I don't even care, right? It's fine. I just can't believe it didn't take the pick that I had in the queue. Right? There was no Chuba Hubbard. Go ahead and drop him.
Calvin, I see you in the chat. This platform does not do waivers for best ball. No, this is a strictly draft it, forget it for best ball.
Yeah. So I'll take Jake Bates right here, but because with it being Detroit, looking at all the games they have in the dome, I think it's 14 total games out of their 17 that they're going to be in a dome. This kid didn't, he wasn't in the NFL last year. He's like 25 years old, but he kicked. Did you see what he did in the UFL?
No, I didn't.
60 yarder became a huge sensation, right?
Love it.
The next week he kicks another 60 yarder. The next week he couldn't kick a 60 yarder. The next week he could only kick a 59 yarder.
Okay.
So he's got what they call, he's got a foot. He's got a boot.
He sure does.
He's got a boot.
Sure does. Yeah.
Yep. Chuba Hubbard just put me over the top, Carla. Put me right over the top.
For somebody that could potentially start the majority of the season, like he's just going absolutely. He's free.
Who, Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah.
You actually think he can start?
If there's a setback with Brooks, yeah. Who else they have over there?
Yeah, that was my thought process, Jason. Regression, horrible regression. A 60 yarder, and then only a 59 yarder. It was all. And here's the other problem though: is all of those were outside. I don't know if he can kick inside. Don't know if he can kick inside a dome. It's going to be interesting. Last two rounds here, we had Jake Elliott, Cameron Dicker, Jason Sanders, Cleveland Browns defense, Jake Moody, Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans, Samaje P. Ryan, Kansas City Chiefs, Indianapolis Colts, the league-winning pick of Chuba Hubbard, Blake Goop, Los Angeles Chargers, starting the 16th round, Jake Bates, the kicker from Detroit, Daniel Carlson, kicker from Vegas, Aaron Rodgers. I didn't even notice we got one team here that did take. Now we have two teams that have taken two defenses. So interesting. Aaron Rodgers there. We had Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, Evan McPherson.
Money Mac.
Like that pick for you, Stacy. That's would have been the kicker that I would have gone with if Bates was off the board. Demario Douglas, another guy that both of us like, especially in these best balls. Round 16, great value. Geno Smith and then Chig Okonkwo. And then we have these last two picks coming up right here. Coin flip. Miss Carla says, thank you, Jay and Stacy, for the opportunity to draft tonight. Enjoyed it. Carla, I promise you, we enjoyed it more than you have.
Yes.
But know that we will be doing another one of these again very soon. In fact, I've got an idea, so stay close to the Club Fantasy and the Women of Fantasy Football's both YouTube and Twitter pages. I've got an idea. I've got to run by a couple people to see if we can make it happen. If not for this year, next year. But I think I've got an idea for some best ball that everybody can get involved in. The last two picks of the night, though, were the Eagles and then Eric Gray, running back for the New York Giants. I don't hate this pick here being the last pick in the 16th round, last pick of the draft overall. One injury away for Eric Gray to possibly be the starter there.
He could.
May even get some third round work. third down work there in the Giants. So, Stacy, let's talk about your team real quick. Let me get over to this board and get it scrolled back up so you can. I know you can see it, but
I can see it. Yeah.
Let the people see what you did here. In round one, you went St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kyron Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, Kyle Pitts, Najee Harris, who is somebody that I've taken way too much of to start with, Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, Jake Ferguson, Zach Charbonnet, Matthew Stafford as your second quarterback there, Ty Chandler, Brandon Cooks, Khalil Herbert, Miami Dolphins, and then Evan McPherson. Let's talk about your team for a second there, Stacy. What do you think about the quarterback room and then the running back room to start with?
So I really don't love my second QB there in Stafford. I really was trying to get Baker to pair with Mike Evans there. So now, I mean, I do have a stack with Kyron Williams and Matt Stafford, but I don't love stacking running backs with their quarterbacks. I don't know that matters that much. So that would be the one thing that if I could do differently, I probably would. Although I had a chance to take Baker in round 10. I just felt like it was a little too early, but obviously I missed out on him since team 2 took him. They're going around at the turn in 11. But that being said, Stafford's not a bad quarterback. So it's, it's not like it's the end of the world over there. I didn't get stuck with, a rookie or, somebody that just didn't have a lot of faith in. So he's going to start, as long as he's healthy, he's going to be on the field. So again, not the end of the world. A little bit different than I normally do. Cause like I said, I don't take a ton of Kirk, don't take a ton of Lawrence. I definitely don't have the matchup or the pairing of Pitts and Ferguson for my two tight ends. So it's a little bit different than I normally do. These running backs, though, are pretty familiar. If you look at my teams with Najee, Ty Chandler, Zach Charbonnet, Khalil Herbert, I'm definitely highly exposed to all of those players. But I still, that's because I believe in them. I think that they're good players, especially with the build you're doing. If you're going anchor running back there which is what I did in the second round with taking Kyron.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like what you did there. I actually do like Stafford. A little, I mean, and I'm a Buck fan. I would rather have Stafford. But I do agree. If it came down to Stafford, Mayfield, and the stack was the wide receiver, probably Mayfield. But I think there's also a very good possibility that Kyron Williams is going to be not just the first and second down back, but the third down back as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's that potential there. And then last thing with my receivers too, that I just noticed is that I've got St. Brown, Ayuk, Evans, Kirk, and then Cooks is my last one. I have all ones except for Brandon Cooks. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'm a little upset if you taken Brandon Cooks there because I wanted to grab him to stack him with Dak Prescott. Even if he is the wide receiver 2 there, he's still going to get some look. Of course, you not only took him from me, you also took Jake Ferguson, but that's fine. We won't talk about how you decide to stab your stat. It's not even in the back. You stabbed me right in the front, right on camera. You did. It's insane.
We're right?
We're an hour and a half in, Stacy. I just want to look at my team real quick. We could talk about some of these other teams offline here. So if you guys have questions, please make sure you drop those in the comments, whether, after the show or whatnot. My team, I look like this: Jonathan Taylor, Drake London, Cooper Kupp, Trey McBride, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Dak Prescott, Christian Watson, Kirk Cousins, Luke Musgrave, Michael Wilson, Jerry Jeudy. That Jerry Jeudy pick, by the way, was for the one Hudsonian, just so he knows. Jerry Jeudy is still there going in round 12. Rico Dowdle, Jalen Wright, the league winner that he is, Chuba Hubbard, and then Jake Bates. I just looked it up. Comparing to last year, I'm going to be losing, or I'm going to be basically a negative 9 points every week without having a defense right away. So that's not great. That doesn't make me feel good. But what does make me feel good is that I have Jake Bates, who's going to more than make up for that with the extra points that we get after the 31-yard kicks. I don't know how many he's going to get there in Detroit but they're going to be in the end zone a lot. But I do think that I'm going to be able to make up a little bit of those points. Hopefully I can make up a lot of those points. We shall see. So going over it, Jonathan Taylor, strictly a volume play for me. I was actually trying to grab him, and Richardson went in the 4th round, which was a little early for me. Drake London, Cooper Kupp, starting off with those two. Again, Taylor and London those two starting off, and even add Cup into that. I don't know how many builds you're going to be able to get those three particular guys, to start your draft off. Aaron Jones, I have a feeling that there's going to be a huge volume play there with up there in Minnesota, being with whether it's Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy behind center. DeAndre Hopkins, again, I think there's going to be some wild changes when it comes to the passing game there in Tennessee. We started to see a little bit of it last year. DeAndre and Mayonnaise Kid loved each other, halfway through the season. Will Levis,
as my mom says, Will Levis.
Yeah, Will Levis is he can at least sling it. So it's gonna be fun to watch. Christian Watson, long as we keep the hamstrings tight, buddy, we're good. And that's again why I have to go and grab a couple other wide receivers later. Having Christian Watson taking that dart throw, but it kind of taking it early. So I wanted to grab a couple later wide receivers, and I did that with Wilson and Jerry Jeudy. Stacking Kirk Cousins with Drake London, I think that's a if you're going to go Drake London or Kyle Pitts, you're going to be looking at Kirk Cousins. And yes, I took him in round 9, so maybe a hair early, but again, I don't want to get sniped. I got sniped all through this draft, being at this end over here. The 20 picks or so between my two picks. It was insane how many times I was getting just sniped left and right. But then Rico Dowdle, who like we talked about whenever we were talking about the Zeke Elliott pick there so early, Rico Dowdle seems like he's going to be at least the one to start with. Maybe Elliott is going to be the end zone guy, but Dowdle is going to get most of the run, at least in my opinion. Jalen Wright, complete dart throw, just a speed dart throw there. And then, like I said, Chuba Hubbard was a misfire on the screen there. So it is what it is. Don't hate it. Can't say that I love the ending, but I do love the beginning of it, Stacy.
Oh yeah, I do. I am digging your team there a lot, Gator. This was fun. I'm glad we did this. It's fun to venture out of our comfort zone and get on another platform and try to draft a little bit different of a team.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, just run through it real quick. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to us. Hit that little subscribe button at the bottom. We would greatly appreciate it. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We can only do that with you. And as Ryan Weiss likes to say, it's free. It's absolutely free to hit that subscribe button for us. That also lets us know that you like the content that we are putting out. The schedule looks like this. Holy cow, Stacey. We have added so many shows since we started just a few months ago. Monday night, we have my other show. It is Mocking with the Stars. Next week's guest, I forgot who it was. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. Tuesday nights, 8:30, we have Masterclass. It is the best ball show, or one of the best ball shows here on Club Fantasy FFL and the Women of Fantasy Football channel on YouTube. 8:30 p.m. is our start time. Tomorrow morning, Who's Your Caddy, the Golf DFS at 9 a.m. Tomorrow evening, the flagship show for Club Fantasy FFL, and that is no pun intended, at 7 o'clock. They are going through their redraft team targets. Thursday, we have 2 shows now on Thursday, Stacy. We have the brand new Trade Block that goes off at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And then the Women of Fantasy Football's Mock Girl Summer at 10. Right. Now, this week, they're moving that to Friday because of Thursday being the 4th of July. So they'll be on Friday this week. And I believe that's going to change to 9 o'clock for Julia. But that's Wendy Early and Julia Papworth. Love over their Mock Girl Summer. Yes. Friday, the other best ball show is back. Summer School, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. for that one. Saturday morning, Mock It Like It's Hot at 11 a.m. Sunday morning, Dynasty After Party at 11 a.m. as well. Now, Stacy, that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I lost count. I don't do
nine shows in 7 days. That's getting work done. That's getting work done. Lots of content. Stacy, I know there's a lot of content that you're putting out. What are you doing lately? Tell the people where they can find you and what you are working on.
Oh my gosh, guys. So I'm getting ready for Scott Fishbowl, Gator. Our Orlando live draft is coming up on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep. So I will see you down there in person. Can't wait. And yeah, just, getting ready for that. Going to go spend a little time away doing some baseball stuff for 4th of July. That's what I got going on right now. Just taking a little time off for the holiday, get ready for Scott Fish Bowl. I'm drafting the 4 spot. Gator, which division in Orlando are you in?
I'm in the 4 as well, but I'm in Rex.
You're in Rex. I'm in Jesse. Okay,
Yes.
so it's Toy Story theme, guys. Very cool, very cool. Very excited to get out there. The live drafts are so much fun. If you're going to a live draft, you're going to have a blast.
Yes.
Can't wait to see everybody's pictures and everything from this weekend. I feel like there's a bunch that are going off this weekend.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast. Yeah, I'm leaving here Thursday morning. I'm going down to Spring Hill. So Friday we're gonna go float the river on Friday, kayak and down the river on Friday. I'll drive over to Orlando Saturday. We'll do the draft on Sunday, and then it's gonna be a great weekend. Looking forward to it. Guys, don't forget, go follow Stacy at Stacy_Perez83. Follow myself at FantasyJ77. More importantly, go follow Club Fantasy at Club Fantasy FFL.
Yes.
And follow the Women of Fantasy Football at Women of _FF, I believe. Not 100% sure on that. Just type in WOFF, WOFF, and that'll take you right to it. Guys, we will see you next week. I don't know what draft we're doing yet. Stacy and I got to figure that out, but we will get you going next week on another episode of Masterclass. Until then, thank you all.